Are you ready to explore the dark secrets of literature? We present to you the huge book that was supposedly written by the devil. Today, we will take you into the world of 6 terrifying books whose content is disturbing and evil. Discover with us the incredible mysteries and the thin lines between legend and reality. Let's get to the bottom of these captivating stories together. Codex Gigas. It is well known that the holy scriptures of the world's religions claim to have been written by God himself. But how does the matter actually turn out when it was not the divine creator who helped the authors write their works, but the devil incarnate? Well, following an eerie legend, the mysterious Codex Gigas can help us find the answer to this question. The first thing that makes this Bible from the early 13th century stand out is its amazing size. With a height of 92, a width of 50, and a thickness of 22 centimeters, it is the largest known piece of writing from the Middle Ages. Written in Latin, one circumstance is as striking as it is puzzling. Apparently, some pages were cut out of the Codex Gigas in the course of time. Why this happened and what content was banned from the book at that time is completely uncertain. An examination of the writing suggests the urgent conclusion that the giant Bible was written by a single person. The casual mention of Herman the Hermit could give us a clue as to the identity of the author. However, the copy of the Bible is not the only content of the document. Various historical accounts, a calendar, a list of monastic brothers, and descriptions of miracles also found their way into the work. While the Codex Gigas contains many different drawings, one illustration in particular stands out, an equally disturbing and huge depiction of the devil. This eerie painting not only gives the document the nickname The Devil's Bible, but it is also said to provide a deep insight into its disturbing genesis. Legend has it that Herman the Hermit was actually a monk who lived in a monastery. However, he had broken the strict rules of the community, which caused him to fall irrevocably out of favor with his fellow monks. The other monks then decided to wall up the renegade member alive. In order to avert this severe punishment and not to languish agonizingly slowly, the condemned man promised to write a book in honor of the monastery, containing the entire treasure of knowledge of mankind. And all this in a single night. But as the hours went on, he had to realize that he could not keep his cocky promise. So it came that the monk, in his despair, made a momentous decision. He offered his soul to the devil if he would help him complete the work in time. No sooner said than done. Satan finished the writing and was richer by one human soul. To point out the true author, the monk is said to have added the famous picture of the devilish author. The Little Key of Solomon. Keys open locks. The matter becomes somewhat tricky, however, when it is not an ordinary door lock, but a supernatural gate that keeps the devilish demons away from our world. Written down by an unknown author in the 17th century, the author of the Little Key of Solomon probably fell back on much older sources from the 14th century. The Book of Spells provides detailed instructions for summoning infernal creatures. In addition, the section Ars Goetia lists all the 72 demons that the biblical King Solomon is said to have summoned and later imprisoned in a magical bronze vessel. Those who make the airy creatures their own are said to subsequently gain hidden knowledge about the future and the past, acquire supernatural abilities, and be able to track down secret treasures. But beware, some demons, such as the king of hell, Paimon, demand a blood sacrifice for their devotion. Tomino's Hell. The good news first. In principle, it is not dangerous to read the classic Japanese poem, Tomino's Hell. However, one should avoid at all costs saying aloud the words that Yamato Inuhiko wrote down in 1919. To the one who disregards this warning is supposed to happen horrible things afterwards. The corresponding reports range from the sudden vomiting of blood, to the unexpected death of a close family member, to the death of the actual reader. In terms of content, the poem deals with the eponymous protagonist, Tomino, who dies a lonely death and subsequently plunges into the depths of hell. Deeply sad and longing for her loved ones, she must watch as the familiar world around her disappears, giving way to a realm of pain and hopelessness. The grimoire. The term grimoire describes a book that contains hidden magical knowledge. In terms of content, then, these spell books explain how to use magic spells and curses, summon angels and demons, and make talisman and potions. Those who move in certain occult circles know that a spell book should actually be burned immediately once the witch who wrote it dies. However, this basic rule is not always followed. A few years ago, for example, a collection of unknown grimoires surfaced on the web, ultimately passing to a private buyer for the hefty price of $13,865. It is said to have been the estate of a famous witch priestess who led her own circle of devils in the 1960s. In detail, this handwritten collection also reveals how to use incantations, conjure up good and evil spirits, and mix supernatural potions. Strangely, however, one passage of the witch book was written in Theban letters, a secret script of unknown origin used to disguise forbidden texts. After the anonymous owner succeeded in deciphering the characters, a cold shiver immediately ran down his spine. It was in fact an impressive warning that made him immediately regret his purchase. Thus it was written, "For those who do not understand anything about art, it is forbidden to read this book. If you proceed anyway, the retribution will be swift and terrible. You will certainly suffer through the power of art." The story of the orphan. Before a book appears in the stores after its completion, it can take a few months. In the case of The Orphan's Tale, however, it was to take a whopping 400 years before the work finally hit the market. But why is that so? Well, if one follows the uncanny story, this was because the book has always been cursed. Thus, everyone who tried to publish the novel in the past had mysteriously died. Although the Peruvian, Belinda Palacios, knew about the supposed death curse, she decided to edit the centuries-old manuscript as part of her literature studies and to campaign for its publication. However, she advised her best friend to burn the writing immediately in case she died during her thesis. Written at the beginning of the 16th century, the book tells us the story of an orphan who leaves home at the age of 14 to seek great adventure in the Spanish colonies. Since the boy becomes a monk at the end of his journey, experts suspect that the book was written by Martin de Leon Cardenas, a monk who experienced a very similar story and later became the Archbishop of Palermo. Book Soyga. The English polymath, John Dee, lived through a career that was anything but ordinary. Born on July 15, 1527, he was accused of sorcery, black magic, and high treason during the reign of Queen Mary I. He was also accused of being a magician. All the more surprising, therefore, is the turn his life took after the death of the sovereign. Under the heir to the throne, Elizabeth I, he advanced to become a royal advisor and official court astrologer. That there was something to the rumors about Dee's penchant for black magic becomes clear when we look at his relationship to the mysterious Book of Soyga. In addition to incantations and instructions for spells, the work also contains 36 large cryptic code tables on which John Dee cut his teeth. Since he was unable to decipher the individual letters and reveal their true meaning, he contacted a certain Edward Kelly. With the help of the English medium, he then succeeded in summoning the Archangel Uriel to obtain further information about the writing. The angel then reported that the roots of the book reach back to the beginning of mankind. It was already revealed to Adam in paradise. After the death of John Dee, the trace of the book was lost for more than 300 years. However, in 1994, historian Deborah Harkness was able to rediscover 2 manuscripts of the lost text. 4 years later, Jim Reeds managed to do what John Dee had failed to do at the time. He deciphered the tables with the help of a mathematical formula. So today we know that the codes contain the different signs of the zodiac, some celestial bodies of the solar system, and the elements fire, water, air, and earth. So guys, and now we are interested in your opinion. What do you think about the spooky books we have presented to you today? Do the works really have a devilish background, or are we dealing with unusual but completely harmless texts in the end? As always, write us your thoughts, suggestions, and feedback on our video in the comments below. Don't forget to click on the like and subscribe buttons to never miss any of our posts again. And with that, thanks for watching, take care, and see you next time.